Hello, good evening everyone. Ayan. So maybe you're wondering why we're doing live on a Wednesday night, 'di ba? So this is very unusual because we always do our session every Saturday 3 p.m. but yun. But yun then I really want to apologize if the past Saturdays I was not able to do webinars. Sobrang dami lang talaga nating commitment, but don't worry, babawi talaga ako sa inyo sa mga susunod na Saturdays. But today, I am very excited about this session. Always naman tayo excited kasi there's a lot of people who are willing to share talaga um, lessons sa atin, like topics, 'di ba? Kaya I am really grateful with them. So, ayan. So, I am sorry also if eto sobrang nausad na usad tong session na 'to. It should be like last Friday. Tapos nawalan kami ng internet, 'di ba? Tapos ayan, Saturday, tapos nausad ngayon. So, yan. Sa mga viewers natin ngayon, actually now we already have like 17 viewers. So, thank you sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. It's 8 p.m. yet you chose to watch this and join us in tonight's session. So, yan. Let me know kung taga saan po kayo para ma-shout out naman tayo. Ayan. So, we have Josh Mike TV. So, welcome Josh Mike. Thank you for always watching our live session. So, hope you learned today. Ayan. So, ayan. So, sa ating 22 viewers all across SFE, Smart Mompreneur, and group and YouTube channel, thank you for watching. So, guys, hindi ko na to patatagalin pa. If you have any questions, no? So, if you have any questions, just comment it below and later sasagutin natin lahat yan. So, today, we're going to talk about, Taxation 101. So, sa mga, nung college tayo, ito isa to sa mga subject na ayaw natin. Taxation. But today, we will, talk about tax. I know most of us na who's into online selling, ito yung isa sa mga ayaw natin, 'di ba? But I am telling you, once you are at paying tax for your business, you registered your business, there's a lot of benefits na pwede natin makuha from paying business taxes. Ayan. And tonight, we are very blessed that someone who's very knowledgeable about tax will be able to share ano ba yung mga sagot sa mga tanong natin, like bakit kailangan magbayad ng tax, para saan, bakit kailangan, yung mga ganong tanong, 'di ba? So sasagutin nila 'yan. So let me introduce to you he's from from the company na nagpa-process ng tax for our business. And then actually sila na rin nagre-renew ng business registrations namin and all para walang hassle. Kasi sobrang talaga na-experience ko yung pipila, magbabayad and all. So para wala na akong iisipin pa. So I let them do all those things for me. So sobrang laking ginhawa when they came into the picture. And I'm talking about Taxumo. So I know that most of you who are Lazada sellers, 'di ba? Narinig nyo na si Taxumo. And sa mga there was a previous webinar where we invited the owners, Miss Ginger and Sir EJ. But today, pinayagan nila ulit tayo magkaroon ng session with them to talk about more about taxations, 'di ba? Tax 101 tayo tonight. So, guys, let me introduce to you Sir Lige from Taxumo.
Hi everyone. Hi Trixie. Thanks for having us tonight. It's a pleasure to be here.
Ayan, Sir Lige. Thank you din po. So, Sir Lige, can you tell us something about Taxumo pala muna before we start? Ano ba yung Taxumo?
So thanks for the introduction, Trixie. It's ano, so tama sa Trixie that we process taxes, but not in the way that you think about it. Kasi usually sa Philippines na the way when we think about filing taxes, accountant or big bookkeeper yung gumagawa. Taxumo is different. We're software. So when you file your taxes through Taxumo, basically software na yung gagawa lahat. So from calculating how much you pay, yung pag-fill out ng mga tax forms nyo, at yung pagsasubmit at pagbabayad mismo sa BIR can all be done within the system. So it's a DIY solution, but most of the work talaga is done by the software. All you need to do lang is to just enter your income and expense, tapos automatic na yun. Mag-calculate na yun ng tax. So ganun siya kadali eh. I think Trixie can attest na ano lang, sobrang simple lang yung Taxumo.
Yes, all you need to do is have your receipts, enter input, then they will calculate everything for you na.
So what could be like thousands of pesos per month na binabayad mo as retainer for your bookkeeper accountant, may masasave ka with Taxumo. And you know, like the time that the time na you if you do it yourself talaga, ang dami mo na-save kasi you don't need to know, you don't need to really read about yung mga tax laws, yung mga may bagong computation ba. Kami yung bahala nun. We think about those stuff for you. Kung anong update sa BIR, automatic ina-apply na yun sa Taxumo. So wala ka na kayong iisipin pa.
Yan. And guys, please stay with us because later we have a surprise for you. So please stay tuned, okay? So now, Sir Lidge, maybe we can start about our topic for tonight.
Yes.
Ayan.
Sige. So tonight we'll be talking about the beginner's care taxation. So we'll be running through a very basic na parang foundational course on taxation, especially for online sellers. And please, yes, if you have any questions, please comment them down below. Kasi mamaya during the Q&A portion, we are also having our partner CPA from Taxumo to come in and help answer the questions. So if may mga specific questions kayo about taxes na masyadong technical, we will answer them after this presentation. So to begin with, let's talk about why should I pay my taxes? Ano ba yung kailangan? Like, I know it's for every one of us. Mahirap eh. It's money coming out for business, but it's a harsh reality. There's two things certain in life. It's death and taxes. Hindi natin maiwasan yung taxes, especially if you really want to be a legitimate business. So first of all, yung reason why we should register and pay our taxes for bigger clients. If you're a freelancer, a lot of the Filipino companies right now, especially mga corporations, kinakailangan kayo mag-present ng OR and certificate of registration before they begin dealing with you kasi they have your own mga kinakailangan yun for accounting purposes and for reporting purposes. So a lot of our freelancer clients on Taxumo, they really, they register kasi sila because they wanted to tap into the local market and go into bigger, let's say bigger fish na corporations. And if you're an online seller, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are Lazada sellers here, you're not, correct me if I'm wrong, Trixie, but you're required to have a certificate of registration before you begin selling on Lazada, diba?
Yeah, before. Yes, before. Yan talaga yung po nila, requirement. You should have business registration. But now, yun nga po, nagkaroon kasi ng co-op. So, hindi na siya nire-required. Not until ma-reach ng mga co-op members yung 3 million na threshold. Yan.
So, yun na, if you want to skip the co-op part and go into your own, you will be opening up. So, isa to sa good things about, registering is that you're really opening up the channels that you can sell. You're opening up the number of clients you will be able to serve in the country. So that's one of the benefits of paying your taxes and registering your business. Another one here is loan approval. So bakit ko ba sinasabi yung loan approval? If you're employed kasi, you usually have an HR person. So, Mr. HR person, can you give me my certificate of employment? Could you give me my payslip because I will be applied to the bank? So yun na yung proof of income mo for the bank to give you a loan. But what if you're a small business owner, fully employed ka? You can't say naman, "Hi, Mr. BPI. I am the owner of XYZ company and I earn 3 million a year." So they won't accept that. Kasi medyo sketchy eh. Like, oh, talaga? So the best proof of income that you can provide to the BIR, or I mean to provide to the banks, is ano talaga, your ITR, income tax return. And even if you're mixed income, and when we say mixed income, we mean that you're also employed, meaning you have income coming from employment, or you have you have income coming in from a side hustle or gig. An increase in income gives you better chances of getting approved for a loan and bigger chances for getting a bigger loan amount. So it's all upside from there. So that's one of the benefits for loan approval, and that's not only loans. You can also be more eligible for credit cards and other financial products. Next naman dito is visa required. So alam naman natin na we all want to travel na after being cooped up in this pandemic. We all want to travel. So the thing with being a Filipino citizen is that when you travel to first world countries, they will require a proof of income. And ayun, so if you don't have if you're fully employed naman, di ba? Like, you just present your payslip, you just present your COE, and sige, I know you're coming back because you have a job in the Philippines. But if you're not, then medyo high risk ka sa mga first world country. So how do you prove to them that you are returning? You prove to them that number one, you have a business that is registered in the Philippines, and that number two, I'm earning a lot of money in my business. Why do I want to stay here? So yun yung benefit ng getting one of the other benefits of getting registered as a business. And lastly naman dito is tax penalties. We want to avoid tax penalties as much as possible. So one of the things that has happened when we dealt with clients in Taxumo is that may times kasi na when they register their business, may naghihintay na sila sa kanila penalty because the BIR knew that they were already running a business before they registered. And how they know that is yun nga, kasi companies require ORs, they provide with a certificate of withheld tax. So they know the businesses that are technically not that are running but are not paying their taxes properly. So if you want to avoid that from happening, please register your business and pay the appropriate taxes. Because they will know. One of the things that sometimes the BIR does is that they, so at least the online selling part is that sometimes sa isang random naman talaga to is that they order stuff from Lazada and see if you provide official receipt, and if you don't, then yun, lagot ka. That's one of the things that they do.
Yun.
Yeah, so minsan kasi ginagawa rin nila to sa doctors eh. Like, pupunta sila for a check-up, tapos, oh, does the doctor give official receipt? Tapos pag hindi, oh, lagot ka. You're practicing your profession, but you're not giving me OR. So that's one of the things that the BIR does. They're very creative in ways of finding. It's unlikely, but it can happen. Yun lang yung sinasabi ko na.
Yes.
So if you don't want money that's supposed to be, invested back into the business, and pay the appropriate taxes.
Yes.
So for yung importance ng tax compliance natin dito is that you have official receipts for bigger clients and online marketplaces, ITR mo for bank loans and credit cards, ITR for visa applications, and of course, if wala tayong mga butas sa pagbabayad ng tax, wala tayong penalties na makukuha. So do your duty, guys. Leverage your registration. Ang daming benefits na makukuha natin dito. And comply with your taxes. Don't be a tax hole. So let's begin with the first segment naman dito. So it's registration. So what do we do when we register our online business? The first question here is, are you a professional, sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation? There's no wrong answer here. It all depends on the business situation that you have. If you are, kung ano yung best, depending on your business situation. But most of the time, when it comes to online selling, you are a sole proprietor. If you're a freelancer, you're a professional, because a professional practices their profession. So be it a graphic designer, a lawyer, an architect, a digital marketer, they are mostly professionals kasi they're practicing their profession. If you provide naman goods, you are most likely a sole proprietor. So ito yung usual na ginagamit ng mga online sellers. But depending on your business situation, pwede kayo mag-partnership if you have partners and you can your corporation, if you're an one-person corporation, or if my shareholders kayo. So it really depends. I would suggest that if you want the best choice, consult with an accountant. And these are the types of agencies that you will be dealing with depending on your business type. So either you'll be dealing with DTI, LGU, BIR, or the SEC. So we can break down these steps into three. So step 1 is DTI, step 2 is LGU, step 3 is BIR. So DTI naman is not required. You can register under your own name, but if you want to have a trade name, then you will have to go to the BIR, to the DTI. It's all done online naman. It's very easy, so you can easily do that. Next step is LGU. Usually, kinakailangan to for yung may mga brick and mortar stores, but if you want to be safe with your running your business, we recommend as well going for the LGU requirements. So ano yung kailangan mo dito? You need to have a proof of residency or ID. Usually, cedula yung kinakailangan as proof of residency. You go to your barangay hall, and then you are supposed to get a barangay business clearance. And if you're a freelancer, you will get an occupational tax receipt. Optional tong OTR. So after getting those requirements, as per RMC 60/2020, hindi na nire-require ni BIR yung pagkukuha ng mga LG requirements. But sometimes, it will be required by certain RDOs. So I would suggest na go to your RDOs first before getting for the list of requirements before going to them to submit kasi baka may iba silang nire-require. So first phase naman dito is RDO transfer. RDO is Revenue District Office or yung local branch ng BIR sa place ninyo. And why do we do RDO transfer? Because you will need to transfer your TIN to the place where you're doing your business. So say for example, for me, I am in Bohol currently, but my employment, when I first started working, my TIN is registered in Cebu. So if I want to start a business in Bohol, I have to transfer my TIN from Cebu to Bohol. So this is the steps that you have to take. Go to your RDO, bring Form 1905, and then get it stamped for Form 1905. Basically, what you'll do here is you change your address, and they will move you to your nearest RDO. So initial registration steps. Gather all the requirements. Suggestion ko lang talaga is to call up your RDO and see kung ano ba talaga yung requirements kasi we don't want to go back again and again. Nakulang yung requirements natin. Gather all those requirements, and then after submitting them to the RDO, you will receive your BIR certificate of registration. Your stamped books of accounts, important to because you will be submitting this every year. And then yung approved authority to print. The ATP will allow you to print your official receipt. So this is a very important document. So after getting your ATP, and if you have a format naman na gusto, you can bring it to an authorized printer. So hindi lahat na printers makaka-print ng official receipts. You will need to go to an authorized printer. May listahan si BIR sa website nila. So if you want to know kung sino sa locality nyo na pwede, just visit BIR's website. You will be receiving 10 booklets worth of official receipts. The price varies depending if gusto nyo na may carbon paper, so ganun. It varies talaga kung sino yung authorized printer. So if you want the cheapest, best if you look around. So after getting your 10 booklets, you have to go back to the RDO again to get your stamped 10 booklets. Kailangan i-stamp ni BIR yun na, okay, these are legitimate ORs. So after that, sige, you're good. Congratulations, you're good to go. You're officially a registered business in the Republic of the Philippines. Next naman dito is yung tax compliance. And we'll be discussing here yung mga basic taxes na usually you will have to pay if you're an online business. So there are 4 categories of taxes in the Philippines. First is business tax, income tax, expanded withholding tax, and withholding tax on compensation.
Grabe
So,
yung... Sorry, Sir Leach, sobrang ano na yung mga terms, no?
Oo. Pero ito yung pinaka-basic ha. So,
Basic. Yeah.
Simple lang naman. Yeah. So, simple lang naman to. You have any questions, Patricia?
Wala na. Pero nandito na yata si Miss Lenini.
Sige,
so,
sige.
Yeah. So, guys, let me introduce din sa inyo yung partner CPA ng Taxumo, si Miss Luningning. Ayan. Hi, Miss Luningning.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, sorry, I'm late. So, pero yeah, good evening, everyone. So, We hope na you're getting as much as information from dun sa initial discussion ni Leach. And now he is about to discuss yung pinaka-meat nitong discussion natin, which we hope that would simplify yung understanding natin sa tax. Na at most of the times it can be overwhelming eh. So ayan.
Thank you po, Miss Lini. Okay, so let's go, Sir Leach.
Sige. So, yung next time, we'll first begin with business tax. So, business tax is basically yung tax on your gross revenue. So, say for example, you earn 100,000. That tax is applied to the 100,000. Hindi siya sa net income mo, sa whole amount that you've earned talaga. So, there's two kinds of business taxes in the Philippines. We have VAT, and we're very aware what is VAT. VAT will only apply to you if your annual revenues are exceed 3 million pesos. So if you are not exceeding 3 million pesos, then you are under percentage tax. So VAT naman is output tax means input tax, so that's sales times 12%, and purchases times 12%. So if my expenses kayo with the business na VATable, you can deduct the VAT na binayad mo from that. So that's VAT. Next naman is percentage tax. It's the simpler one. So instead of the very complicated na formula, it's just your gross sales times 3%. Just a heads up to everyone lang. It's a common misconception that you have to pay VAT if you're a business, but you don't have to pay. Kasi sometimes we see people charging for VAT, pero hindi naman sila VAT entity eh. So if you're not VAT, then you're percentage tax. So you need to pay 3%. And quarterly yung pagbabayad ng filing and payment of percentage tax. Next naman is income tax. So in contrast to business tax, income tax is based on your net income. So that's in income minus expenses for income tax. So first naman dito is the 8% flat income tax rate. So this is a new income tax schedule that was introduced when the train law was enacted. So these are for individuals, sole props or professionals whose gross income is less than 3 million pesos. So it simplifies the whole process because if you're on 8% flat income tax rate, you no longer need to pay business tax. So you don't have to pay VAT or percentage tax anymore. Automatically, it's your gross sales minus 250K if you're earning solely from business kasi may deduction tayo, 250K times 8%. So it's a very simple way of filing taxes. So whatever you earn times 8%, yun na yung ano. So yun na siya pino-complicate. And if you do this, you'll only need to file and pay every quarter. So 4 times a year na lang. So if you're on graduated income tax rate naman, this is the usual na iniisip natin pag income tax. So if you're on graduated income tax rate, you will need to pay business tax as well. So business tax plus income tax yun if this is what you choose. May dalawang kinds tayo of graduated income tax rate. First is we have itemized, meaning that we will list down every single expense that we have when we calculate for our taxable income. And then you will look for tax payable based on the tax table na ganito. Next naman dito is OSD or optional standard deduction. What we're basically declaring here that instead of itemizing every single expense, you're declaring to the BR na, hey BAR, my expenses are just 40% of my gross revenue. So beneficial to if, say for example, na your expenses are mga 20% of your gross revenue. So you're able to basically pad na your expenses and allowing you to pay less. So that's one of the hacks that you can do. So more knowledge on this means that you can pay less taxes legally. Next naman dito is expanded withholding tax. Usually na-apply to pag may suppliers kayo na nagwi-withhold ng taxes. So what is withheld tax? These are amounts that you will withhold as para siyang tax credit eh. This is amount that is deductible when you pay your income tax. And this is one of the ways wherein BIR knows that whether you're paying taxes or not. So when you have withheld tax, so income tax due is tax due as per table, so minus sum of tax withheld. So when you do service for someone and they withhold a certain amount from you, let's say 5%, that 5% can be deducted from your payment. Kasi technically, you're prepaying for your income tax when you receive this. But usually this happens when you're a freelancer. I'm not quite sure. I think Lunining can verify if are there cases na mangyari to for online sellers?
Yes, hello. Yeah. It depends kasi doon din sa mga suppliers. So when it comes kasi sa professionals, automatic yung kailangan mag-withhold ng tax. Kumbaga, halimbawa, yung clients namin, kailangan mag-withhold ng tax. Otherwise, they cannot claim the professional fees as their expenses. So, when it comes naman for selling, I mean, between buyer-seller, meron kasing, usually alam ko yung 1% pag goods, 2% pag services. So, pero yun nga, not all kasi is qualified that on that. Meron kasing tinatawag na, kumbaga, withholding agent. I believe parang top 10,000 corporation, something like that. And meron din category for the individual. So, halimbawa si Miss Trixie, nag-fall siya doon. So, kailangan niyang mag-withhold ng taxes on her suppliers. Pero kung hindi naman siya nag-fall or hindi siya kasama doon sa list of withholding agent, hindi rin naman siya required. Pero likewise, kung meron din siyang, kung yung client naman niya, sila naman yung withholding agent, kumbaga, may time naman na yung ibabayad sa kanila, mapapansin mo parang, ay, bakit kulang yung binayad sa akin? Yung pala, may winidhold sila sa'yo. So, yun yung sinasabi ni Age na possible na ma-track ni BIR kasi merong, parang banggaan lang yun eh. May nire-report yung nag-withhold. So, parang naka-reflect doon yung TIN number mo at magkano yung parang, yung na-receive nila at yung winidhold nila sa'yo. So, kung hindi ka pa naka-registered legally, so doon, I'm not sure how thorough na si BIR doon, pero there is way para to track. So,
Yeah, thanks to Ningning.
Yes.
So that's withholding tax agent. So ito naman is yun nga, sinabi rin kanina, withholding tax agent. So if di naman lahat withholding tax agent. So if you're if to make sure, check your COR kasi nakalagay doon na withholding tax agent ka or hindi. Lastly naman is withholding tax and compensation, and this will apply if you have employees within your business. You are required to withhold naman taxes every time na may salary. So if ever may employees ka, these are the taxes that you will need to comply with. Marami siya actually. So 1601C, 1604C, 2316 and Alpha List. So just a reminder now, may ito yung kailangan if you have employees. And we're down to our last segment, which is optimization. So how do we improve our tax filing experience? So tax hacks. So if you're OSD ba or itemized, so yung rule of thumb natin dito is if your expenses are greater than 40% of your gross income, you choose itemized kasi you're able to decrease your taxable income, and then therefore you will have less taxes to pay. But if your expenses are greater than 40% if your expenses are less than 40%, you choose OST kasi you're able to increase naman your expenses. So that's one of the tax hacks that you need to be aware of. Next is 8% flat income tax rate versus credited income tax rate. So what this graph shows is that if minimal lang yung overhead expenses mo, like say for example yung freelancer ka, sobrang konti lang yung expenses mo. It's just electricity, internet, ganon. So why would you go for graduate income tax rate if sobrang minimal lang naman? So you're able to reduce how much tax you pay if you go with 8% income tax rate. So the more expenses that you have, the better the case is for graduated income tax rate. So that's our rule of thumb there. So if you want to, if you really want to know which one is best for your business, it's best that you consult someone like Ningning to go through your finances and see kung ano ba talaga yung best sa business mo. Should I go for 8%? Should I go for graduated income tax rate? So ayun. And if it's graduated income...
Siguro
yes,
to add, since we're talking about Lazada, tama ba, Lazada sellers, no? So,
yeah.
Since probably many of you are, or basically all of you are having inventories. So, maybe for most of you, magiging beneficial si graduated. Hindi ko sinasabing yun lang, pero possibly. Kasi since yun nga, diba, usually when you sell different items, then yung cost ng inventory pa lang, so kumbaga yung markup na lang actually yung napupunta dun sa net income eh. Then you still have other overhead. So, although it's best pa rin, parang you really run your numbers, parang you make comparison, yun ba, lumalagpas ba ako sa 40% or hindi? Marami, parang pag nilabas ko ba yung inventory and all the expenses, magkano na lang yung matitira? Pero basically, the 8% flat income tax rate we recommend or we suggest it dun sa mga low overhead talaga. Like yun nga sa freelancer na very minimal yung expenses na parang yung net nila is almost similar lang din sa gross. So for those who are really high overhead, like yun nga, those who maintain inventories and maraming mga expenses, we recommend yung graduated. Kasi imagine, kahit even if you earn $500,000, pero kung yung expenses mo, you reach 300,000 on your inventory pa lang. So, wala ka na doon sa income tax, wala ka ng income tax technically. Kasi di ba, pag below the 250,000, lalo na those who are really starting up pa lang na, maliit pa lang din yung sales or yung inventory nila. So, maybe you can, mas magiging beneficial siya. Ayun, yun lang, sinadjust ko lang.
Yan, totoo yan. Ma-share ko lang din po, kasi nung nag-choose lang din ako niyan, mapipiling ko dito yung 8% or graduated income tax. Nalilito din ako nung una. Tapos yun nga, yun na-explain na nga na depende nga kung sa expenses. So yan, tama yung explanation ni Ms. Newton.
Tsaka kasi, yun nga, it will be based kasi on your gross. So, although 8% siya, it will be based on your gross. So, malaki pa rin siya compare sa kung talagang magiging maliit yung net income to the point na magiging exempt na siya, di ba? Yung merong mga ganun eh. I mean, malaki yung gross, kaya lang laki rin na expenses. Ang ending, below na rin siya dun sa taxable. Tapos, di dun ka lang sa yung 3% lang basically yung tax mo, which is actually reduced pa ngayon yung 3%. Well, until 2023. And introduce ko na lead siya. So,
Yes.
kasi di ba, with the may mga, di ba, yung chain law, and then there's the create law wherein they because of the pandemic, parang gumawa si government ng, in a way, tax relief to the taxpayers. So the 3% was even reduced to 1%. So actually may mga ibang forums na parang, nag 8% ako, parang dapat nag 1% ako ngayon. Kasi so ayun, we can also take advantage of that. You can also take advantage of that until mid-2023. So basically, second quarter of 2023. Yes.
Yan, galing. Ayun guys, so wag tayo matakot and all. Kailangan lang talaga alamin natin yung mga terms na to eh. Kasi 'di ba? Dali lang pala talaga siyang intindihin din. So, yeah.
Yes. Sige. So thanks for that, Ding. So may konti lang tayo slides. Malapit na tayo sa Q&A portion. So if you guys have any questions, please kasi sayang yung opportunity na may CPA na magsasagot ng mga tax questions nyo. So paminsan-minsan lang paminsan-minsan lang yung may professional
Correct. Mahal lang CPA. Charot. Ayan, sige.
So next naman is that you can pay your annual ITR in 2 installments. So if masyado malaki yung ITR na babayaran mo, you can pay the rest in October. So if hili kayong mag-engineer ng cash flows, then this is one good option that you can take. And please don't forget your attachments. May kasamang attachment bawat tax form. If you don't submit your attachments, potentially may penalty yun. So if you want to avoid penalties, please do it together with your tax filing. And common mistakes to avoid: not filing when tax due is 0. So guys, even if you're earning 0, once you register your business, you're obligated to file your taxes every deadline. Kasi the BIRX is expecting for you to report your income regardless kung anong amount yun. Zero, kailangan din pa report yung BIR na zero yung income mo. And not filing because my client withheld from me, so iba yung withheld taxes from your actual declaration of your income and paying the appropriate taxes for that. So ayun, we can head to our Q&A portion.
Ayan. So, sa ating, meron pa tayong 24 viewers. So, guys, if you have any questions, just comment below. But habang nag-iisip kayo ng question, no, let me just share muna sa inyo that when I started selling nga sa Lazada, Lazada is, asking for yung mga requirements like, should be a registered business, kailangan may resibo ka and all. Kaya sobrang swerte din nung mga sellers, mga nag-microseller ngayon na may co-op. But, marami na rin sa atin na microsellers tapos sobrang nag-boom kasi ang e-commerce, di ba? Malamang yung iba talaga. Nag-million-million na yung So, we really cannot, as much as we want to avoid tax, hindi talaga natin yan iwasan. Kasi, di ba, parang tatakay mga tao, ba't nakaka-purchase ka ng mga ganyan? O, di ba? So, iba pa rin kapag legit or legal yung business natin. And like what Sir Lige mentioned, ang daming benefits niyan. And yan yung isang, yung mama ko kasi, actually, sobrang proud ako sa parents ko kasi yung isa po sila sa mga tax agent, yung nag-withheld ng 1%. So, sobrang saya ng mama ko nung napadalan siya ng email or letter yata. So, parang na gano'n. So, di ba parang proud siya na gano'n sa loob-loob ko, ang laki ng tax na binabayaran siguro nito. Parang gano'n. Pero, but yung benefit like, if you want to have a loan sa bank, or, sobrang bilis lang. Sobrang sa or yun nga, pag magta-travel, nakakuha siya kagad ng visa papuntang US, yung mga ganun, yung mga benefits. So, yan. So, sobrang saya.
Yung sinasabi ni EJ, like, yung CEO ng Taxumo na, ba't mo pinoproblema na mag-VAT taxpayer ka? For example, nag-reach ka na threshold na nag-earn ka ng 3 million. Ang swerte mo na nag-earn ka ng more than 3 million.
Exactly!
It's a good problem to have.
Correct. Diba? So, the higher the tax you pay, sabihin, sobrang laki ng pinikita mo talaga. So, kayang-kaya yan. So, ayan. Yun, habang wala po silang question, ito may tanong ako. Di po kasi ito na-mention, but we heard that last June yata, 2020, hindi na ba kailangan ng mayor's permit ng mga online seller? Any clarification about this po? Like parang from barangay, tapos BIR agad? I am not really sure kasi what's this, may ganun po pa. Parang di na daw kailangan.
Siguro when it comes to registration with the BIR, hindi na they excluded na kasi the requirement na mayor's permit. Well, you can still show if you have the mayor's permit, pero tinanggal na siya. Kasi usually, nangyayari kasi dun sa mayor's permit na, depending on the LGU or dun sa city hall niya or sa munisipyo, kanya-kanya rin kasi nung process, pati ng mga documentation. Minsan doon na i-stock usually yung mga business owners kasi yung process na complicated at yung mga documentation plus obviously the fees kasi 'di ba medyo malaki talaga yung mga mayor's permit fee lalo na dito lalo na for Metro Manila or the key cities. So syempre for 'di ba katulad nga nun, 'di ba small business lang, nasa bahay ka lang, you don't even rent a place, then ikaw lang din mismo one man company, tapos magbabayad ka ng ganun kalaki. So, na-stock, hindi na nagpo-proceed dun sa registration. So, syempre, yung need din ng country at ng BIR to actually collect. So, okay, sige, wala na si mayor's permit, you can directly register kay BIR without that. Pero honestly, I don't see na talagang hindi siya kailangan. I mean, kasi possibly, well, you better check nga with the LGU, like what Lige said. Kasi technically kasi, pagka sinabi mo kasing kumbaga business license or yung permit natin to operate the business, it's actually the mayor's permit eh. Yun yung ating license to do business. Kasi the DTI really is just for the business name, na para ma-reserve mo, etong business name na to, akin to. Kumbaga, well, Taxumo is under SEC, pero parang pareho lang naman kasi technically pagka sole proprietorship ka kay, diba, kay DTI, then partnership corp kay SEC. So parang itong si Lazada, ito akin to, pangalan ko, ito yung pangalan ng business ko, ganon. So, pero yung license natin to actually do business, it's being granted by the LGU. So yung kay BIR, it's really our registration naman with the taxing authority. So again, it depends kasi lalo na if later on you will magkakaroon ka talaga, magkakaroon ka ng pwesto, like if you are mag-occupy ka ng commercial space or like for example sa mga malls, ayun definitely they will require you na eh. So so ayun siguro for some that really small pa lang, pwedeng halimbawa ngayon, pwedeng hindi pa, though we don't parang we don't encourage na i-bypass nyo yun, pero siguro later on you should look into it na makukompleto natin yung lahat ng mga registration requirements natin with all government agencies. Ayan.
Ayan. So, thank you po sa clarification na yun. Kasi medyo nagkaroon ng confusion din po sa part na yun na biglang sabi, yun nga, parang hindi na daw kailangan. So, nagulat din na parang...
Kasi nag-ano rin, di ba, yes, like yung na-mention mo earlier, di ba? Talagang nag-rise din yung e-commerce talaga during the pandemic kasi nga everyone is doing things online. Di ba? Di ba from food to lahat nag-online. So siguro para si BIR na-trigger siya, teka lang, ang daming kumikita ngayon to online. So, kailangan mag-register sila. Mag-register sila, gano'n. So,
correct. Ayan, BIR, baka naman. Ayan. So, ayan guys so thank you for the clarification po. But then, again, if yun nga po, iba-iba kasi talaga per LGU, totoo yan. And minsan pa, ito po experience kasi namin, this is not to parang matakot lalo but ano lang din, to set the expectation. Minsan kasi ito, pumayag na minsan yun sa barangay namin. Kasi dating ko ng mayor, nasa LGU ko, iba na naman yung sinasabi. So, pabalik-balik talaga ako. Kaya, doon ako, sabi ko, na-trauma talaga ako. Kaya sabi ko, sige, ipapaubaya ako na kay Taxumo. Bala na sila mo problema doon. Parang ganon. Kasi nakakapagod talaga.
Tsaka they're doing tax mapping eh. Hindi lang si BIR yung nagta-tax map kasi pati si LGU nagta-tax maps. Actually ngayon, season ng tax map. We have one na registration client na na-refer ni Ginger sa virtual office in Makati. So, ngayon nag-message siya akin, Nini, what I'm going to do with this kasi may notice daw si virtual office na yung LGU ba or BIR ay magka-tax map. Pinaprocess pa namin. Hindi pa complete yung entire transfer process. Okay, sige, send na lang natin mga documents bukas. So, parang ganitong season kasi talaga around middle of the year yung, kasi di ba usually yung first quarter yung renewal ng business permit and then sa BIR yung annual ITR natin April. So, parang after noon, pagtapos na yung mga yon, tsaka sila nagkakaroon ng time para mag-ikot. So they really inspecting around. So yun. So ngayon medyo season ng ganon. So yun pati yung mga yun nga kailangan, 'di ba? Andyan yung mga permits mo pagka hinanap nila.
Nakadikit.
Kasi nakadikit. Yes, so, 'di ba may ganung rule kailangan nakikita mga ganon. So ayun.
Kaya mga mukha ng mayor na naman, nakadikit na naman sa pader, may plaka, 'di ba? Mga ganon. So, yan, yung mga chine-check nila. Pero, di ko naman po hinihiling, no, na i-tax map nila ako.
Yes,
pero,
we don't wish for that. No one wants that actually. Pero kasi, syempre, yun nga, hindi naman sila, buti yun nga, may notice kahit paano. Pero most of the time, walang prior notice pagka ganun eh. Yeah. Lalo na pag nasa commercial establishment.
Pero wag muna sana talaga. Sa awa naman ng Diyos, hindi pa naman. Pero kung if ever naman, ready naman tayo dyan. So, nakadikit nga yan. pagpasok pala nila, kitang-kita na nila. So, ayan. So, yun. Ito po, ayun, since napag-usapan po yung about dun sa mayor's permit, no? What if daw po, hindi sila nakapag-renew ng registration? Like, ito po, di ba, pandemic kasi. Biglang, dahil uncertain wala, yung nagsara siguro, tapos parang hindi na lang nila na-renew. Ano po mangyayari?
Well, for that, actually, pag hindi mo kasi siya ni-renew or expired yung permit mo, it's similar to parang operating without proper na permit. So dapat din talaga i-renew mo siya, or otherwise kasi mag-incur yung penalty. Or kasi even if later on you decided to close that, mag-a-accrue lahat yung penalty. So parang yung closure actually parang renewal yung ending nun kasi magbabayad ka pa rin ng fees. Siguro best is at least you notify then your LGU na no operation or nag-stop ka ng operation. Usually you execute an affidavit. Pwede yun yung affidavit of no operation, something like that. To at least para hindi ka nila i-charge or at least ma-minimize yung charge nila sa'yo. Kasi talagang marami naman din talaga na obviously maraming business yung affected lalo na last year. And kasi may mga like even imagine 'di ba even yung nasa food na industry, like kung nasa mall ka di ba nung nag-lockdown bawal ang mall, bawal ang even dine-in. So yung iba not everyone has the capability of the online na ordering, 'di ba, or delivery. So may mga ganun talaga. So normal naman 'yon. Pero yun nga, wag niyo ring hahayaan na mag-lapse kasi it would cost you more. Parang BIR lang din yan, magpa-penalty rin tayo. Mag-a-accrue sila ng penalty din on your end. So kasi 'di ba wala ka na nga tayong kita tapos magbabayad pa tayo ng penalty sa kanila.
Yan. So, wag natin palang iwasan. Parang meron naman palang tamang way for us na hindi tayo ma-penalize or mababaan yung ano. But just inform na non-operational. Tama ba?
Yes.
Yan. Ayan. And, may question na po from one of our viewers. Like, from Facebook user, kung hindi pa po registered ang business, pero may yung supplier daw po niya issued a collection receipt and SI using my personal TIN number, possible po ba na may record na kay BIR na unregistered business and subject for penalties na po ba yun?
Well, actually, yun yung I believe similar doon or related doon yung na-mention ni Lidge. Kasi yun nga, yun yung doon ngayon papasok yung sa withholding. Well, hopefully, yung kanyang supplier ay hindi withholding agent na nagre-report. Kasi if they are a withholding agent, so probably yung payment supplier niya, 'di ba? So yung payment niya kung kung may withholding na involved doon kasi nire-report ang withholding. So yung if you would see yung ni-reflect ni Lidge kanina na may corresponding attachment, yung QAP, yun yung quarterly alpha list of payees. So doon, naka-reflect yung kung sino yung mga babayaran, kung sino yung mga winidholdan mo, at saka kung magkano yun. So again, hindi ko masabi how thorough na si BIR doon. Pero if magta-track, halimbawa, random, mag-audit sila, itong si supplier niya, i-audit nila, pwedeng ma-track. May possibility. Hindi ganun ka-guaranteed, pero may possibility. Tsaka yun nga, sabi ni Lidge, may nangyari na daw, di ba? Na pagka-register, andyan na si penalty.
Ayun, or is it, better to communicate? Yun like, communicate with our like suppliers na hindi pa po ako registered business. Tapos kasi kung yun nga, nag-issue ng collection receipt and all, it will be complicated talaga. Tama ba yun?
Pero kasi once kasi the SI kasi the sales invoice syempre registered document yan eh. So basically yan din talaga yung kailangan kumbaga yung magre-reflect sa sales invoice nila, yun din yung naka-reflect sa libro nila and possibly yun din yung pino-forward nilang amounts on their tax return. So and it goes on until dun sa mga attachments niya. So I guess yun yung yun din siguro yung kagandahan na if you really post na tayo as a business mag-register, and we also deal with those registered businesses so that walang conflict, diba?
Yes, tama. Correct. Ayan. So, yan kasi ngayon parang kakabahan ka, no ba? Mamaya, matrack and all. Naku, ayan. So, but, yan, sabi nga ni Miss Liningning, hindi pa naman din talaga niya alam kung how thorough BIR na in tracking those. Pero, ayun. Kung si Facebook user, I'm not sure kung sino ka po, pero siguro it's time for you to think, since parang, nakikipag-deal ka na ng legit companies, 'di ba? Why not be a legit business na din?
Yes.
'Di ba? So, ayan. And then ito po, may isa pong question kasi from minsan, ito. Paano daw po pag nawala yung resibo? May penalty daw po ba? Like, kasi parang nasunugan po ata sila. So, nasama yung
yung pagka ganon, hindi ko, I believe may procedure para sa ganon, yung mga na-loss due to fortuitous event. Pero alam ko yon, dapat nire-report agad. Kasi di ba dun sa, before you ma-print yung booklet, we have the authority to print. Na kumbaga naka-register dun yung kung anong libro yon at kung ano yung series niya. So, kumbaga, technically public document yun eh. So, kung nawala siya for whatever reason, and kung nasunog siya, you have to report that para with regards to penalty, I'm not really sure lang, baka meron timing, hindi ko, halimbawa, parang kung dapat 60 days na i-report mo, so baka may penalty after that. So, pero better coordinate agad. Kasi, like kami noon, I remember when I was in the corporate, it's a beverage company. So, kumbaga maraming booklets of ORs issued to the salesman. And may mga episode talaga na may mga nawawala kasi they're in the field. So, kasi parang every month or a certain period, ino-audit yung series. So, pag may nawala talaga, they even publish it sa newspaper. Tapos yung pag-publish na charge dun sa ahente. Kasi nga, cost yun. Kasi nga, technically, those, yung mga pre-numbered or yung mga registered documents, kumbaga, public document yan, naka-register yan kay BIR eh. So, what if may ibang, di ba, bawa, may nakakuha pala, may ibang gumamit, di ba? So, it might affect yung naka-report din sa company. So, ayun. Dapat
report agad.
Yes, naka-report. Lalo na kung due to fortuitous event.
I see. Ayan. And Ms. Lining, since we are talking about receipts po, as Lazada seller kasi, eto nga po, di ba nag-i-issue kami ng resibo. Ano naman yan, required yan ni Lazada sa mga registered businesses. Pero paano po yun kapag halimbawa, nag-issue kami, kasi COD tayo dito sa Pilipinas eh. Yun yung masaklap doon eh. Nag-issue kami ng resita COD, tapos na-failed delivery. So, paano po yung resibo namin na yun? I mean,
kung failed delivery, kasi actually ma'am, even sa accounting point of view, di ba, kung hindi nag-pursue talaga yung transaction, we can always do the reversal or we can always do adjustment. So, pwede naman po tayong mag-cancel nung receipt kung talagang hindi nag-push through yung yung transaction na yon. Pero as i-clear lang natin na canceled siya. Or kung may adjustment, i-adjust din natin accordingly. Kasi for sure, yung accounting nyo naman, naggagawa siya ng mga adjusting entry for those or reversing entry for those. Kasi syempre, unfair din naman on your end if talagang naka-report na yan at hindi mo siya i-cancel kasi i-reflect nyo na yun doon sa ITR nyo, hindi naman siya talaga naging benta technically.
Yes. Ang saklap lang talaga din nun. Saklap talaga yung term. Kasi ang mahal ng resibo.
True. Yes po. Lalo na pag fast moving, for sure, mabilis maubos yung resibo.
Tapos ganyan mga ganun. Kaya minsan parang ano ba yan? Cancel. Okay, cancel. So yun lang siguro yung concern din ng mga Lazada seller. Kasi nga mahal yung resibo. Tapos yung minsan cancel lang. So, ayun. So, okay lang pala yun. Okay lang pala. So, ayan. So, sana clear na yun sa mga Lazada sellers. Kasi, yan po talaga yung concern din nila. Like, yun nga, paano pag na-cancel, baka may penalty kapag, tapos yun nga po yung, lalo na kapag yung sobrang lakas, bumenta. So, ubus agad yung 10
Ubus agad,
booklets.
So, siguro
Ubus
pagka
agad.
ganun talaga, parang before, last 2 booklets, paano ka na, parang renew ka na agad ng ATP or padagdag ka na agad ng, kasi di ba, hindi rin agad yung release ng booklets di ba? Kasi papadalin mo pa siya kay printer, si printer may sariling processing pa, then after nun, tatatakan pa siya, so yan.
Tama. Ayan. So, sa ating mga Lazada sellers, ayan, na-clarify na yan ni Miss Luningning. So, issue din ng resibo pag may So, okay lang yan. Normal yan. Parte talaga ng buhay natin yan.
Yeah, it happens.
So, ayan. So, actually, wala na po sila, questions as of the moment. And sobrang detalyado rin po kasi yung pagka-explain din ni Sir Lidge. Actually, may nagtanong na nun what's the difference between VAT and percentage tax? So, ayan, na-discuss din naman ni Sir Lidge yun. So, thank you po, Sir Lidge. Ayan. So, and guys, let me just share with you, ito kasi yung website ni Taxumo. If you are interested, let me just share, wait lang. Saan na yun? Ayan. Wait lang po share ko lang sa inyo saan kayo pwede mag-register with Taxumo. Nasaan na yun? Ba't ayaw niya? Wait. Ayaw pakita. Ayan. Wait lang guys gusto ko lang pakita sa inyo kung ano itsura ng Taxumo. Ayan, wait lang. Ayan. Ay, sorry. Ayan, nakikita po ba nila yung screen ko?
Yes, we can see.
Ayan, so, ayan, ayan, so, i-type nyo lang yung Taxumo, tapos, di ba, nakikita nyo na yung ko tuloy. So, ayan, nandyan. Tapos, wait lang. Ayan. Ayan. So, dito, makikita nyo na dyan yung, dito. Ayan. So, ano ba? Paano ko ba ito
okay. You can change naman the settings later on.
Sige. So, for example, ganyan. So, kung halimbawa gusto nyong mag-subscribe to Taxumo, so ganito yung dashboard nila. So, ganito yung makikita nyo. Like, you will see yung mga tax dues, yung cash flow ninyo, nandito lahat. Then, you can upgrade. Actually, now, they also have yung pay bills. Dati wala to. So, ngayon, meron na din. And then, they have different subscription plans. So, ito. Sobrang, nito, sobrang mura na. Para sa hassle na nararanasan ng mga, taxpayers and online sellers. So, ayan. So, dun sa registration ko, ito yung recommended plan, 1399. But if you're not sure if anong plan yung maganda para sa type ng business nyo, you can just message them anytime naman. Kasi may iba't ibang yan yung mga filings, ganyan, diba? So, ayan. Pili lang kayo ng plans.
To add lang, we already have so if you have employees in your business, we can already process na yung compensation ng mga taxes. You can just go on to your settings and to add that 1601C na form. Taxumo can also now file and pay for your corporate income tax. So noon kasi we can only do sole props. Ngayon we already have the option to do corporations and partnerships.
Oh, Right? Yun po ba
Yes,
yun?
yes, 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 yes.
Nice. Ayan. So, ayan guys. So, you can have this, you can check Taxumo, ayan, later and check kung anong plans yung mga bagay para sa business ninyo. Because, to be honest, having Taxumo, file everything for me and yun nga, yung renewal ng business registration, sobrang laking tulong na nun. Yun nga yung ma-experience mo yung pabalik-balik ka from barangay to mayor, mayor to barangay na naman. So, yan. Sobrang nawala yung hassle nun when Taxumo did it for me. And lalo na yung pag-file nga nung dito, nung taxes quarterly, kasi naka-percentage ko. So, yan, nandun naman eh. Tapos, ang maganda pa dun sa dashboard kasi, remind ka talaga niya na ito na yung
Yes.
upcoming
Yes.
tax due mo. Ganyan. So, syempre, kailangan maganda ka na ng pambayad mo. Kasi, ito yung isang risk kapag walang katulad nila na platform, nakakalimutan. And,
Yeah.
alam mo yung
Yes,
kailangan
yes.
pipila ka sa bangko and all. Ito hindi. Sobrang 3 days, 2 days prior the actual deadline, yun yung deadline ni Taxumo. So, hindi ka kakabakabahan na hindi ka makabayad on time. So, ang kailangan mo na lang pambayad talaga. So, ayan. And, yun. So, ayan, Sir Leach, I think you have a surprise for our viewers who's watching right now that if they plan
Yes.
to, have Taxumo as their partner, ayan.
Ayan. So, I think I've shared my screen. Ayan. So, if you use this promo code SmartMom, right, you can get 10% off all Taxumo plans, regardless if monthly, quarterly, annual, or 2 years. We recommend baka gusto niyo 2 years. If you want the cheapest monthly rates, the 2 years is the best option. And to add on to what Trixie said earlier, like one of the things that people experience with paying tax is that they only know how much you need to pay parang the day before the tax deadline. So, what if bigla ka sasabihin ng, let's say, bookkeeper account mo, oy, yung utang mo pala sa BIR, 50,000, eh, saan ko pupulutin yung 50,000 na yun?
Yes.
At least when you're very diligent with uploading your, updating your income and expenses Taxumo, automatic kasi yun na, nag-update yung tax dues. Nakikita mo kaagad kung magkano yung babayaran mo. So, at least, okay, I'll save na lang this part kasi ito na yung updated na tax due ko. So that's one of the benefits of having a platform like us as well.
Yes, and Taxumo also have like Miss Luningning, partner CPA. So hindi nyo na kailangan maghanap online kasi we all know that maraming online people na hindi natin alam kung legit or marunong talaga dun sa business na natin. So, eto, Taxumo have mga partner CPAs na if you need help, sobrang naman sila, always on the go to help all the subscribers. Yan, if you have mga questions, and I can really vouch with the owners, Ms. Ginger and Sir EJ. They are very talaga generous and kind, like you can really approach them. I'm not saying na i-message nyo sila directly, but you can really see if the owners have that heart, diba? Then ano pa yung platform nila mismo. And actually Taxumo is awarded as one of the startup, diba? Dito sa Philippines.
ASEAN Startup Awards.
ASEAN Startup Awards.
Yes. Kaya I can really vouch. That's why Lazada's been partnering with them din. Din ko actually nakilala si Taxumo sa
Yes.
Lazada din talaga. Tapos yun.
Yes.
So, yan. So guys, take advantage of this 10%. Grabe, 10% yan guys. Actually, sobrang laking tulong na yan. So, kung yung magkano yun? Kanina, diba? So, kung 1.3, so 139 din yung mababawas, diba? So, grab nyo na yan, yung 10% na yan. And if you have any questions, Sir Lidge, paano po nila kayo pwede makontak?
So, you can just go to www.taxumo.com. May parang chat button sa lower right corner. You can easily talk to our CSRs naman. or you can also message us on our Facebook. You just search for Taxumo. And if you really need if you need help from a CPA, you can schedule naman as well a Taxumo consult. It's a one-on-one session with one of our accountants like Luining. So if gusto nyong i-drill down like, oh, graduated ITR ba or 8%, ano ba yung best nila? Book na kayo ng session with Luining para let's get it sorted once and for all.
Yes. So yan yung isang maganda yan nga sa platform. So nandun na lahat. If you need help, nandun na. So hindi niyo na kailangan maghanap outside. So ayan. So yun. So Sir Lidge and Miss Leningning, thank you so much po for tonight, for all the sharings. And ayan. Ang dami po namin natutunan ngayon. Sobrang detalyado po yung pagka-explain ng mga terms. And madali siyang intindihin, no? Kasi kapag nanonood din ako ng YouTube or nagbabasa ako, hindi ko siya talaga maintindihan. Parang robot yung nagsasalita. So I guess, yung mga viewers din naman natin ngayon, madami sila natutunan. And guys, ayun nga, if you have any more questions, just visit Taxumo. And meron naman din parang chat box. So you can, makita nyo pa kung sino yung kausap nyo. May picture kasi doon kung sino yung available agent, diba? So, yan, message them lang. Ayan. So, siguro, Sir Lidge, before we end, no, do you have any message to our viewers, the sellers, na takot, na siguro still doubt if they're going to, register their business and start paying taxes?
Yeah, so if you have doubts naman, I would really highly suggest na start the process of learning more about taxes in the process that that is accompanied by that. Kasi ang dami namang benefits when it comes to paying your taxes. And there's a lot of legal ways to, if you're afraid of paying so much tax, there are ways like what I mentioned earlier to reduce your taxes naman legally. And when there's this quote na, it's not verbatim, pero if you really want to succeed as a business, you have to act like a business. And one of those things talaga that you can't run away from running a business is taxes. So if you really want to pursue this endeavor, register na kagad or start the process now. Kasi it really changes your perspective once you na-register ko na sa BIR. Kasi if you start running your business without considering taxes, baka sa pricing model mo eventually, nalulugi na ako kasi hindi ko pa pinafactor in yung tax dito. So start as early. Hindi naman siya mahirap Like even if you just study, ang daming resources on taxumo.com na blog as well. Plug in ko na lang yun. It's really possible naman. It's really possible and it's easy contrary to popular belief.
Yan. Yes, totoo yan. So, ayun nga. Sabi nga, alamin muna natin bago natin ayawan. Diba? So, yan. And how about you, Miss Leningning? Any message po dun sa mga viewers natin na, looking for someone who can help them with this?
So, yeah. Siguro in addition dun sa nabanggit ni Lidge, kasi I'm more of responsible entrepreneurship. I mean, responsible sa paggawa natin ng business. So part of it is yung compliance natin with the tax, with the government agencies or whatever it is. Same as kung paano tayo mag-comply sa terms ng ating mga clients at mga suppliers. So ganun din yung pag-comply natin dapat with the taxing authorities, with the government. So part yun nung ating pagninegosyo, kumbaga. So, and if we really want to grow, diba, parang let's start it right. At saka, yun nga, really the tax part is so dreading for too many. So, kasi tsaka yun nga, it's a law. So, medyo complicated and parang ang dami-daming terms. Sabi mo nga, di ba, parang robot siya. Attend ka minsan ng seminar mismo ng BIR, parang hindi mo pa rin siya makatch up. Pero yun nga, there are a lot of webinars like this na available, na very accessible na rin. There are people who can help. I mean, hindi lang within the Taxumo group. Definitely, may mga accountants, maraming practitioners who are knowledgeable. Pero syempre, yun lang, check nyo din yung kung kanino kayo magko-consult na talagang dapat knowledgeable doon sa inyong concern, kumbaga, so that ma-address properly. Pero all of it, from learning to kung kanino kayo magtatanong and someone who would help you, very accessible na ngayon. So it's just really of a matter of investing din. Part ng pag-invest natin, hindi lang doon sa business, but investing din on the knowledge, di ba? As we parang, kung inaaral natin yung ating pinapasok na business, so dapat inaaral din natin yung all those other functions that involve in it. Kasi di ba, lahat yon connected from yung IT works, yung social media, so ganun din dun sa ating finances. So the more na kumbaga mas seamless yung ating pagbe-business. So ayun lang, so hope may natutunan kayo sa aming na-share ngayon at it brought more clarity rather than confusion to everyone. So, ayan.
Yes, ayun. Thank you, Miss Lunini. Sobrang ganda po na sinabi niyo na, if you really want long-term business, diba? You really need to invest on it talaga. So, yan. So, guys, dun sa mga kakapasok lang, because we still have 29 viewers, no? Thank you for joining us tonight. And, yan, kung kakapasok nyo lang, may replay naman to. And then, ayan. So, sa mga kanina pa naka-tune in, and if you really want yun nga, have Taxumo help you with, business registration and all, you can use the promo code SmartMom to get 10% of all Taxumo plans. So, check their website na, and yun, check which plan is best or suits your, business. So, ayan. So, Sir Leach and Miss Lunini, thank you so much po for your time. Thank you po sa lahat na na-share nyo tonight. Yun. So,
thanks as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you po. Ayan. Bye. Good night po. God bless.
Yes, good
Bye.
night.
Bye-bye. Ayun. So, guys, thank you for joining us tonight, no? I know sobrang unusual nga nitong araw ng natin, ng webinar, but thank you sa mga nag-tune in, diba? But yun, before we end, of course, hindi naman mawawala tong ating word for tonight, diba? So, let me just share it to you. Ayan. So, sabi nga, word for today natin is that we cannot expect to always make the right decisions. We will mess up sometimes. Failure is not the opposite of success, but it is an unnecessary part of our success. So, there are times, diba, na natatakot kasi tayo gawin yung isang bagay kasi baka magkamali tayo, takot tayo magkamali, takot tayo sa failures. But guys, always remember that wala namang successful na tao na hindi nakaranas ng failure. And kasama yan talaga sa journey natin. Even sa Bible, sinasabi naman yan that before God bless us, yung mga gusto natin or desire ng puso natin, we really need to undergo challenges, struggles, and failures para kapag tamang tao na tayo to receive the blessing, sobrang ready na tayo. 'Diba? So, it's okay. It's okay to, to make a mistake, na magkakamali tayo and magkaroon ng failure. Okay lang yan. We learn through our failures. And sabi nga, 'di ba, the more we fail, the more we learn. 'Di ba? Yan, baunin natin yung mga failures na yan. And yun nga, sa Bible, Philippians 4 verse 6, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. So, ayun, ako kasi naniniwala ako na if I have decisions in life, I really consult yung Creator na, Lord, ito yung gusto ko, ito po yung plano ko, but your will be done pa din talaga. Parang, because ay naniniwala ako na yung plans ni Lord is better than our plans pa rin. Pero, ayun nga, sa bawat desisyon na gagawin natin, if tao lang kasi tayo di ba? Sabi nga, nagkakamali din. So, just surrender it. Believe and sa promises ni God na He is faithful and He will grant the desires of our heart in His time. And if sa tingin niya makakabuti yun sa atin. Kasi kapag hindi talaga, hindi naman, sabi nga 'di ba, God's no is not a rejection but it's a redirection. Baka hindi pa lang ngayon, 'di ba? So, ayun. So, guys, again, it's okay to, make fail, it's okay to fail and yan magkamali minsan and ayun. So, tuloy-tuloy lang tayo. Huwag tayo agad mag-give up. Okay? So, ayan. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. No? And see you again on our next live session with Smart Mompreneur. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I really hope that marami kayo natutunan. And ayun nga, if, again, remember that if you want to avail Taxumo packages or subscription, just use the promo code SMARTMOM and get 10% off of all Taxumo plans. Okay? And Taxumo, Miss Ginger and Sir EJ, thank you po for helping us tonight topic. So ayan, and to Sir Lidge and Miss Liningning. And guys, thank you so much again. Good night. God bless. And ayun, see you again soon. Bye!